Hello everyone, this is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. This is another quick status update on my hut building project. I am back here at the stream where I set up some pipes a few weeks ago. I set up the pipes so that I could bring water into my land, which I needed the water as a safety precaution for the fires that are started. Those are done. But I still want the water eventually for agricultural purposes. But this is long term, but I need it anyway. What has happened is that this construction with the pipes was a makeshift construction. It was just a quick thing that I set up, just a quick and dirty contraption to get the job done. But of course, it's nothing to be proud of. I knew that it had one major weakness, which is that it has no filter and it has a very long uniform pipe. The fact that it has no filter means that it can absorb anything, including gravel. So what has happened in the past few days is that we have had lots and lots of rainfall. And this has brought downstream gravel, rocks, and all sorts of garbage that ended up in the pipe, thus blocking the pipe. And what I need to do to unblock it so that we can have the water flowing again is to divide the pipe into smaller pieces and then be able to shake those smaller pieces in order to eject the gravel or whatever kind of junk is there. So let me show you what I have been doing. Let me switch to the rear camera. So I was just using this to cut this pipe. So this was uniform and I cut it in two. Then I will use this to connect it. So you see I have lots of used materials. So of course buying all of that is expensive, but I won't be doing that. So what I want to do is I want you to tour you along my stream, as it were. So you can see a bit. So I have cleared it a bit, but it's still overgrown with vegetation. I won't clear it completely. I don't want this to turn into some kind of a palace hall, or as it were. But I want it to be sufficiently accessible for me so that I can get things done. So here is where the water is a bit deeper, and I need to just go past this point, get past this point, no problem, no stress. I already got my shoes wet, so it won't matter too much, but you can see maybe the depth, you can see how it is. So I want to continue from here. So this is quite deep, and of course it is very, very cold. So let's see what we can do. We want to go through here. So I also disconnected the pipe further above, so I will bring it back up. But let's move to the top, and then I can just pull the pipe along with me. So we don't want to worry about that now. Let me get it over my head and let's continue. So this is a sort of terrain that is slippery, and you see it's treacherous. Look at this. So here you may think that there is something to set your foot on, but then it isn't. So you can easily miss your step and go down rolling and break your neck. So you have to be extra careful, of course. But we continue upstream. The water's here, super cold, even though we are in the beginning of May, the first days of May, the first part of May. It's still very cold. This is slippery, so I need to be careful. Maybe the camera underestimates the terrain here, but it's really slippery, so it is something that we need to be very careful with. And the fact that I hold the phone and I also hold the tools is not a good idea either. So let me throw those over there and then use my hand, and this is absolutely wonderful. So we are approaching the point where I was the last time I did a video about this. So let's see. So the last time I jumped through that point over there, and there is Atlas trying to jump. The pioneer. So he just came down and he wanted to go up, but he couldn't manage because he didn't have the momentum. Anyhow, let's continue. So I will want to bring the pipe here and connect it to this thing here. You can see here the water is flowing, so that is good. I will need to do the connections again, and my dog is always around, so I will need to redo the connections, and then I am good to go. But of course this means that I have to go back down there and pull out the pipe. But I won't bother you more with this. The idea is that I have to let me switch to my camera. So the idea is that I have to continue dividing the pipe so that it is more modular and thus more manageable. So in case it is blocked, it's easier to unblock it. Of course, this is not a longer term solution. In the future, I will need to install some kind of filter and have a more sophisticated mechanism. But of course, that's wishful thinking right now because it requires time and money, and I don't want to have that dedicated here, earmarked for this secondary objective. But in the future, that is probably something that I will do. Anyhow, that's all for now, folks. I have to go back downstream and pick up the pipe. So I will talk to you again next time. Take care. Goodbye.